Okay. Let me know if you can hear me, guys. I was meant to be playing music for you in the beginning, but I'm still trying to figure out how all of this works. So let me know if my microphone is working, if the audio levels are good. Okay, I'm seeing messages coming in. I hope you guys like my graphic design. Okay, what's up, Emmerich? Who's in the chat here? Aiden, Reese, Mapalo, Jordy, Liam. Yo, Liam from back in the Discord days. Damn. Bradley, Nico. Felix is in here. Holy shit. Not gonna lie, I didn't expect this many people on the first stream, but fuck it, we move. Okay. Guys, so the reason I'm doing this stream is because I've been through a lot of shit getting to where I am that particularly pertains to South Africa. Okay. If you guys don't know my story, I'll cover it briefly, but I was dropshipping when I was 17, when I should have been studying for university exams. I ended matric doing like 30, 40,000 Rand a month profit from dropshipping. And I've always just been the kid who is like learning how to make money on YouTube and stuff like that. And nothing was ever there for South Africans. I'd watch a video and it'd be a tutorial and it'd be on Shopify dropshipping, which was what I was doing back in the day, right in the beginning. And it would tell you to sign up to Stripe or PayPal or some of this shit. And it was just a pain in the ass to get anything to work in South Africa. There was nothing. There were no tutorials. There was nothing. And since then, I've gone on to do relatively okay for myself, especially by South African standards. I've been working on different online side hustles and stuff like that since I was like 16. I was a freelance graphic designer when I was like 14 or 15. I made like $10 and I spent like 3 hours doing a random ass job for someone, designing their logo. And basically, I've been through the ringer. Through that, I've learned a lot about how the online space works. Now, I'll go over what the stream's going to be in a bit. But Luke, you're from Germany. Is it also for me? So I'll cover that in a bit. You might want to move countries after this. But yes, this will also help you. Also, I'm very ADHD, so I forget what I'm saying half of the time. But basically, I've learned a bit about how this online game works. And for the last 2 years, I've been kicking myself seeing like my friends working jobs and things like that, and seeing how much they get paid for it and seeing the quality of life that they get when I've kind of just been sitting on these cheat codes. So in this stream, basically what I'm going to cover, I'm not going to cover how you can become a millionaire in dollar terms, because a million rand is not a millionaire. Graphic design is my passion, Reese. I'm not going to cover how to become a dollar millionaire. I'm not going to cover how to build a massive, insane business. What I'm going to cover is something so stupidly simple that I can't believe more people aren't doing it in South Africa, that if you're working a job, it can instantly double or even triple your pay. It'll increase your quality of life like crazy. You'll do less work. You'll earn more money. If you are wanting to start a business, this will get you on the path to getting to that point where you are building a business. These are the stepping stones that I kind of went through just figuring shit out the hard way. And I'm just going to try and lay it all out on a platter for you. So before we dive into it, can I remove the comments on the screen? Yeah, I can. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. Let me know if that's any better. Before I get into the meat of this, I want to cover a couple things. So, firstly, I have nothing to sell you unless you're already rich. Part of the reason that I wanted to do this stream is, and I'm not going to call out names, I'm not going to start beef with other fucking, or not other, but fucking internet gurus. I've seen so many ads recently of like people in South Africa starting to sell like make money online courses and things like that. I know a lot of the Airbnbs in Cape Town, you can quite clearly see that they're filming their ads in the Airbnb. They're just doing stupid methods that don't work. There are a lot of guys who are just drop shipping fake clothing and things like that and making money off of that, and you're just going to get shut down and you're going to set yourself up for lawsuits if you do that. So yeah, basically I'm seeing a lot of the bullshit move into the South African space. So I wanted to come on as somebody who has actually done this. I don't have a course to sell you unless you're already rich. Even then I don't have a course, but you can buy Gents Croquet Club. It's going to cost you about $10,000 or $7,000 at the time of recording this. And yeah, I will be swearing. One thing I want to point out, the reason I wanted to do this on a stream is so that we have live Q&A. I'm really bad at reading scripted things and recording like scripted videos. I'm pretty good at just freestyling off the top of my head. Yes, I know I have a shitty slideshow in front of me, but it's more so just so that I can keep track of the points that I wanted. I'm just going to be ranting on top of the slideshow. But you are more than welcome to ask questions. So the way that it's going to work is I have multiple chapters, and I'm basically just going to be going over different chapters. I drink a ton of water. Got a 1.5 liter water here, so I'll probably have to go fill up my water. I'll drink a lot of water. I'll take a toilet break. So you guys can just drop questions in the chat. Occasionally, I'll read the chat and I'll answer questions. If you ask a stupid question, I'm going to roast you on stream. It's all love though. I don't mean anything mean. I'm just going to take the piss out of you a little bit. As I said, I'm not teaching you how to make $1 million. That's a whole different conversation. I'm teaching you how you can live life on easy mode in South Africa. I know I put out a story with everything that I'm going to cover. I might cover it, I might not. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. Will you be able to watch the video after the live? I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. I think by default, YouTube keeps it up. So I might just keep it up. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I haven't decided yet. So yeah, if anybody has any questions before we start, you can just drop it in now. Otherwise, I'm going to continue with my very shitty slideshow that I did in like 20 minutes before the stream. Hence the formatting and the graphic design. Like looking green, like lighting looking clean. Can't even speak. Will we be seeing more streams? Maybe. So selfishly, one of the reasons that I'm doing this is I need to start producing content. I've seen a lot of people doing streams kind of in this space. I used to be a gamer back in the day, so I actually played some COD last week. But I know this format from gaming. I've seen a lot of people go into it with like make money online stuff, self-improvement stuff. And to me, it just makes sense as a format. So you guys are my test run for this, and hopefully you get some value in exchange. Will I save the stream? I've covered that. Almost a freestyle rapper, 100%. What was your experience been hanging around Iman? I'm honestly not going to cover that. Maybe at the end. How long is the stream? No clue. Agency related, or is that a spoiler? Kind of get into it at the end, but yeah. Real estate agents in South Africa. Okay, the rest of that I'll get into. Let's get into it. Now, if you grew up watching Disney Channel, like I did, Sweet Life and Zack and Cody and all of that back in the day, I remember being a little kid watching all of these Hollywood Disney movies and series and things like that, and thinking to myself, fuck, I wish I was in America. I wish I grew up in America. That was like constantly ringing in my head. I was like, South Africa's cool, you get to play in the bush, etc., but it's like, I just wish I grew up in America because everything looked better in America. At least that's the way that Hollywood made it seem. So I want to point out why being in South Africa is actually fucking sick. So I'm going to play a game of Would You Rather. Now, these are all meant to have B's next to it, but just see A and B. When it comes to the place that you want to live, where would you rather live? A or B? Just mentally take notes, drop it in the chat. I don't really care. I'm more here to prove a point. This 3-4 bedroom place or this shitty little studio apartment? A or B? What would you rather eat? A or B? This fucking epic looking steak or this shitty ass Big Mac McDonald's meal? Where would you rather gym? Because sleeping, eating, working, and going to the gym should just be staples in your life. A or B? I know which ones I'd pick. And the reason I did this is because all of these, the accommodation, so what you're paying for rent, what you're paying for food, what you're paying for the gym, in these 3, are all exactly the same price. Give or take a couple $100. Those are London versus South Africa. Exactly the same price. So if you're going to be spending on those things anyways, realistically, you're going to be buying food, you're going to be paying for rent, you're going to need a place to live. Which ones would you rather live in? Because it's going to cost the same amount anyway. If you looked at option B, you wouldn't think the person is living a very good life. If they are living here, they're eating this, and they're training here, it's a good life. It's a good life, don't get me wrong. You wouldn't look at them and you'd be like, holy shit, like they are balling. They are living life. If you looked at A, and you saw this on people's Instagram stories, or you visited your friend and he was staying in this lovely house, he was eating steak every night, he was going out to eat every night, he was going to this gym, he took you into the gym, there's saunas, steam rooms, concierge service, whatever you need. You'd kind of look at this dude and you'd be like, damn, he's a bit of a baller. It's the same amount of money, okay? It's exactly the same fucking amount of money. Now, I'm hoping you guys can get at what I'm pointing out here. Because if you look at the average pay in South Africa versus overseas, London as an example, because that's where, that's obviously where the examples are from. Digital marketing, if you're in SA, your average is going to be 300K a year. Okay, so 300K a year, 300 divided by 12, 25 grand a month, pre-tax. After tax, probably ending up with like 18, 17, something like that. The average in the UK is £34,000 a year, which is around 700,000 rand, which I don't need to fucking calculate a quick maths that, but that's around 50K a month. After tax, you're looking at probably 40, maybe 35. These are the same jobs. You're doing the same thing every single day, okay? If you look at the higher end, you're looking at, what's that? £50,000 a year, so that's R1 million a year to be a digital marketer in the UK. You're looking at, if you're lucky, 500K a year in South Africa. Starting salaries, because I'm guessing I have a young demographic here, you're looking at 400, nearly 500,000 rand a year starting salary here. The starting salary is double the average salary in South Africa. 4 times, nearly 5 times what you'll get as a starting salary in digital marketing. Okay. So what I'm pointing out here is COVID leveled the playing field. This would have never worked before COVID, and I'm not going to go into all of the details about COVID on the stream, but COVID created a shift where it is extremely normal for you to work a job where you never see your boss in person and you are in a completely different geographic location. And you're basically like this girl. You're working from home. Okay. So what I'm getting at here, and this is why I say it's literally living in South Africa in easy mode, is that most of you, if you're not studying, if you are in the workforce, and I have this rant with my friends that have jobs in South Africa nearly every single time that I see them, your day-to-day, you're sitting at your desk, you're on your computer, you're doing your work, you're having Zoom calls, you never go into the office, you never see your boss. So why the fuck are you getting paid South African rates when you could be, why are you living the South African version of this life, okay? Because this is what an entry-level job gets you in South Africa. You'll get a single apartment. You'll get very little to spend on eating out. You'll probably be really concerned about what you're spending on groceries. You'll go to the cheapest gym you can, and that's going to be your life. For doing the same work as you would be doing with an overseas company where you can be living this life in Cape Town. And I can tell you from experience, this side is a lot better than this side because I've been on both. So that's the foundation of everything that we're going to be going through, is that if you spend a little bit of time, dedicate a month to, and this is why I say this is for people who are working a job as well as those who want to start a business. I'll get into the business side later on. If you simply just change your employer, you change the business that is paying you, you instantly level up your life 2 to 3x. If you stay at your job and you are working with a company in South Africa, how long is it going to take you to double your salary? It'll probably take you 5 to 10 years, realistically. So yeah, it's pretty fucking dead simple when you look at it this way. Now, the second thing I want to go into, because a lot of people ask me about this, is what about university? So I dropped out of university as soon as I was self-sufficient. I never really truly went to university. And I don't believe university is a necessity anymore. At all, really. I employ people who I don't even know what their degrees are. I've never asked to see their degree. I've never asked to see their CV. And when all of my friends were in university, this is what I was doing. Now, it might look good on Instagram. I earned fuck all money. I was sleeping on mattresses on the floor. It's nowhere near as glamorous as this seems. But the point that I'm making here is you don't need university. You don't need a degree. Now, that isn't saying you should drop out. That isn't saying you should leave. That isn't saying that if you are in matric, you shouldn't go to university. And I'll get into that now, because what I didn't get when I was doing all of this was this. So I never had the university social life. Lived in Stellenbosch. I partaked in it a little bit. I had a couple parties and stuff like that, but I wasn't meeting people on campus. I didn't meet a boatload of new people. I wasn't partying every week. A lot of the time I was in my apartment working, or I was traveling. So it's a trade-off. If I could go back, I don't think I would have dropped out. But no, not if I could go back. I wouldn't change anything that I've done. But if I were 18, 19 now, I probably wouldn't drop out of university if I had the opportunity to go without a student loan. Reason being is because you can do all of this shit once you're out of university. And it will probably be a lot better once you're out of university. This shit only happens once. So the point that I'm making here is what you should be focusing on if you are 18 to 21 is experience. Now, obviously, everybody knows the memes about like fucking job listings and how much experience you need for jobs and things like that. And experience is worth a lot more than the piece of paper. Now, when you are in uni, you shouldn't go into it with the mindset of, oh, I'm going to get a degree and that's straight away going to get me a job. That it doesn't work like that. I know so many people who have come out of their degree and they're struggling to find a job. They do find a job. It ends up paying 10, 15K a month starting salary, probably minimum. And the point that I want to make here is everything should be about experience, both in like having fun in your life, and B, also just doing shit in the business world that gives you actual physical experience on working with people. The reason I say that, just because, and I'm just going to close the chat because my ADHD is kicking in. The reason I say that is because when people are looking to hire, whether it be freelance, whether it be agency, whether it be employee, doesn't matter if you want a stable job or if you want to build your own business, all business owners give a shit about is what is your experience, what track record do you have, what can you show from the work that you've done. They don't care about the piece of paper. Now, if you're going directly corporate, yes, there's an argument that the piece of paper matters. But if you have somebody who just has a degree and somebody who has a degree, same degree, and a shitload of real world experience because they've been freelancing and doing a bunch of side hustles and things like that in their university, the employer is going to go for this person every single time because they actually have real world experience. I'll get into the business stuff soon. But basically, if you're in university, please just fucking manage your time properly. I dropped out of university, so probably don't take advice on how to pass from me. But basically, just learn how to learn. Flashcards are your best friend. A lot of my friends now around my age are med students. They all use flashcards every single time I see them. And basically just work hard, play hard. Guys, whether you pass with like, I don't even know what the pass rates are now, 50, 60%, or whether you pass with a 99%, it does not fucking matter when you get into the workforce. All it is a piece of paper. You get the same piece of paper. And it does very, very little in the workforce now. So the last takeaway when it comes to university is just allocate time for everything. Set yourself deadlines. Get your friends to set you deadlines. Put bets on it. Because everything in life is Parkinson's law. If you turn around and say, oh, I'm going to spend all day studying, you're going to do the same amount of studying that you would do in 2 hours as you would do in 3 hours because of the amount of time that you allocate to it. So yeah, basically just university, all you should give a fuck about it is experience. Because 300K gets you a piece of paper. It does not get you a job. So that's the intro. Now what I'm going to go into is learning real world shit and how to actually get clients, how to actually get a job overseas, how to decide if you want to be a business owner or if you want to get a job, you want to be employed, etc., etc. So yeah, that's the end of chapter 1. I know it's basic shit, it's fundamentals, but this is all stuff that I wish someone told me when I was younger. So if there are any questions so far, you can drop them now, and then I'll go into the next section. If you want income stability, learn how to code. You can learn it all for free online, no uni necessary, and follow Pete's advice, working for an international client. Yep, I've got something about that coming up now. I think my chat's frozen as well, so I'm just gonna carry on then. So next thing, learning real world shit. How do you become valuable? Because that's what you need to do to earn money. And a little side tangent here, because I was having coffee with a friend the other day, and she said to me, she was like, why do you only care about money? Why do you only care about money? Why are you so focused on money? That was the conversation that we had. And I turned around and I said, who cares more about money? The person who has a job, or the person, or even better, the person who has a job, climbs the corporate ladder, lifestyle inflation hits them, and they buy a brand new BMW because they want to keep up with their friends. They increase their apartment, and they are earning 70,000 Rand a month, got a stable job, good income, and they're saving 5 grand a month. That, or the person who freelances, doesn't make bank, maybe 50K a month, makes less, doesn't spend much, and invests and retires when they're 30. Because that's a very, very real scenario. All money is time. You work a job, you get paid for the amount of hours that you work. 1 Rand equals 1 unit of time. Could be seconds, could be minutes, could be hours. 1,000 Rand, certain amount of time. Everybody has an hourly rate. If you look at the amount of hours that you've worked and divide that by the amount that you earned, that's your hourly rate. Doesn't matter if you have fluctuating monthly incomes, if you only do investing, whatever. The thing that scares me most about life is being 40, 50, 60 and still having to work to make ends meet. The person who dedicates themselves to a job and lets lifestyle inflation hit them, and they need to keep working when they are 40, 50, 60, and notice they need, not wants, need to keep working when they are raising a family, when they have kids, when their kids are having rugby games and they want to go watch the rugby games, etc., etc. That person has slaved their entire life just to have money to pay for the things to impress other people. When you look at the person who's able to retire early, they get to do what they want with their time. That is the key. That is the only reason you should give a shit about making money. Money is useless outside of that. It's experiences and time. That's all money can buy you. And convenience, I guess, which is essentially buying you time. So basically what I'm saying here is you want to get rich and you want to have a good financial plan so that when you have kids and you're raising a family, you don't have to slave away for the rest of your life just to make ends meet, to keep up with a bunch of superficial bullshit, because that is you're trapped by money. The person who dedicates himself to learning how to make money now buys themselves time later. I'm working my ass off for 10 years so that I can buy myself 30 years of enjoying my life when I have family, kids, dedicated relationship, etc., etc. That is where I'm getting the ROI on the 5 to 10 years that I'm investing now. So yeah, that was just a quick side tangent. Now, Greg's actually said something here where he says, if you want income stability, learn to code, you can do it all for free online. So everybody knows MIT. MIT do free online courses. They launch their lectures. They launch their lecture notes. They do their exams. They put pretty much everything online for free. You want to know how many people have a free MIT degree? 0. Because the only thing that you don't get here is the networking, obviously, because you're not on campus, you're not meeting people, and you don't get the degree. If you go to a university like MIT, Yale, all you're buying there is the network and the piece of paper that has a name on it. You can learn pretty much anything online if you literally just come up to a problem, Google it, and go down the rabbit hole for fucking 6 hours and find out what the solution is. Everything I've learned in my life has been from online. And it's literally from this. It's from when I was young and I was playing Call of Duty and I wanted to learn how to edit videos to fucking make a Call of Duty montage. Problem, how to edit video. Boom, YouTube tutorial. I spent like 6 hours watching a YouTube tutorial. Cool, now I need to get editing software. Editing software. Boom, get the software. Actually start practicing it. Everything you want to learn is online. Now, you can buy courses. I've probably spent the equivalent of a university degree on different courses. The only reason I buy courses is to shortcut the time that it'll take to learn it for free. Pretty much everything you need is out there for free. It's just going to take you a little bit longer to learn. If you look at Udemy was the first courses that I bought. Guys, the courses on here are actually insanely valuable for the price. Now, they're not the best courses. They're a little bit boring, blah, blah, blah. It's not by your favorite influencer. It's not by your favorite YouTuber. But you can learn so much shit on Udemy for 170 Rand. That's the price of Uber Eats. Like, everything is pretty much here. So you kind of just need to decide what direction you want to go. And one of the things that I want to point out here is the choice that you make on what you learn is very important. And the reason I say that is uni is outdated. We've already covered this. You don't need a university degree anymore. It's not a requirement. You don't actually physically need one. But it helps if you're going into the workforce. It does help. But businesses need solutions. University degrees don't keep up with how fast the world is changing. When I dropped out of uni, the decision that made me do it was I'd bought a couple digital marketing courses literally off of Udemy. I was running like some small dropshipping stores. And the thing that I was excited about the most, I was studying like a BCom or something. The thing that I was excited for the most was a module on digital marketing. Got to the digital marketing module, second year, opened the book, and there was nothing about Facebook ads. So I looked at it and I was like, did a little bit of research on Googling. What is the best digital marketing platform? What's the best way to make money online? What's the best digital marketing platform? Facebook. Cool. Everything I'm learning in this fucking degree, it's outdated. It's not applicable anymore. Other businesses have moved on to better solutions that are there. So basically, you want to be learning things that are going to get you jobs now, that don't require 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years for a university degree, unless you're going lawyer, engineer, doctor. Those software developments, I'd say, would actually be a good uni degree. But apart from that, don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter. Off the top of my head, the ones that I'd say, copywriting. Reason I say copywriting, if you can read and write in English, and you have a laptop, you can learn copywriting and you can make money on it. So if you want to do copywriting, what do? Type in on Google, what is copywriting? Boom. Start going down the rabbit hole. Who are the best copywriters? Boom. Go down the rabbit hole. Gary Halbert, highly recommended. Pretty much follow that process. Buy a couple courses, start writing, start reaching out for jobs, etc., etc. Software development, same thing. Start going on YouTube. What is software development? What is Angular? What is HTML? What is CSS? Etc., etc. Go down the rabbit hole. Learn what this all means. Dedicate your weekends, 2-3 weekends a month. You still have one to go jawling. You still have a couple nights to go partying. You can wake up hungover and still learn. And start learning skills. Software development, very high paying skill if you are the type of person that it suits. I know a little bit of code, but I could never get into the full development. But I just forked out a very fucking handsome sum of money to get a custom platform developed where we were working with software developers. Software development, if you have the brain for it, highly recommend. Graphic design, you can do it. Not the most high paying. Web design, if you get good at it and you niche down, you can make a lot of fucking money in web design. Sales funnels. Best thing, you don't even need to code. Webflow. Boom. Build a website with no code. I have pretty much nearly all of the people I know in the online money space, they're moving across to Webflow. Why? Because they don't need to pay software developers. They can pay a Webflow developer who gets it done twice as fast, and it's simple enough that they can go in the back end and they can make tweaks and they can change things. Squarespace. Through Gents Croquet Club, I literally met a guy, absolute legend, who's making a couple £100,000 a year building Squarespace sites for people. Most people look at Squarespace and they think it's like, oh, it's like for your first beginner sites. No. I know a couple guys who are working online, traveling the world, making a cool couple £1,000,000 a year selling Squarespace websites. So, sales, if you're a charismatic person, if you're an extrovert, if you can talk very well, high ticket sales, very good one. Shout out Luke Alexander. He is in GCC. He's killing it in high ticket sales. He's teaching a lot of guys how to do high ticket sales. Basically, sales has moved from boardroom, shaking hands, who do you know, golf course, to Zoom call. How quickly can you close a deal? You look at people who are selling online courses. They all have closers. They all have people taking calls for them. High ticket coaching, agency, anything sales related. If it's a proper company, they're hiring sales reps who are working remote, who work off of commission. You can have the stability of a normal job in sales, but still have control over your income. You can still get better at sales, and you control your income because you work off commission. You can earn a lot of money sitting behind your computer on Zoom calls doing sales. Just don't do it for a South African company. Lead generation, that's a big one. No code, we're starting to see it pop up a lot. No code's becoming a lot more popular. Bubble, basically what no code is it's app development without having to write software. So bubble.io, I'd say this is going to be a very valuable skill. I know Webflow is working on their own no code side, basically where you can build fully functioning web apps without having to do any coding. Now, it's a little bit janky. It's nowhere near as good as a fully developed platform. But if you go to their showcase, there are a lot of Bubble SaaS companies that have done a bunch in funding. There's one that raised like, I think 300 million or something like that, dollars. And they built their entire application in Bubble. Okay. So don't discount no code. I think it's going to become a good one. No code also falls into Zapier. So automation. If you know how to do automation, if you're good at solving problems for businesses, i.e. knowing how to use Zapier, which is a couple YouTube tutorials, you can go to a lot of businesses and say, hey, let me save you time by automating your workflows, i.e. you need to pay your staff less. You pay me once to build it. The automation's there and you can run with it. The biggest part about all of this is you can prove how good you are. When you're looking at a sales rep, when you're looking at a web designer, when you're looking at a graphic designer, when you're looking at a software developer, you don't care how much, you don't care how many years they've worked. You don't care about their CV. What you care about is experience and end result. What can they do for you? If you hire this person, what is the impact going to be in your business? That's all businesses give a shit about, especially when you're looking at the younger demographic of business owners coming up. As I said, I hire people. I never look at their CVs. I never, ever, ever, CVs I'll look at for past experience. When it comes to degrees, I never look at degrees. Never, ever. It doesn't matter. All I care about is, okay, what can this person do for me if I hire them? What is the end result of getting them in to my business going to be? Will they make me more money, essentially? And then pretty much it's taking action. So you can watch all the YouTube videos you fucking want. If you're not building things, if you're not actually implementing it, if you are not writing sales copy, if you're not building software, if you're not making some graphic design. I don't really know what graphic designers do nowadays. UX design, that's a good one. Probably a high paying one as well. If you're not putting your work out there, if you're not building websites, you are not going to progress at all. Because it's like, you can watch all of the videos, but then when you actually start to do this shit, it's a million times different. This is the problem that a lot of people face when they come out of university. They've done all of this theory for 3 years, and they get into the workplace and they have to do actual things in a business, and they have no clue how to do it. So yeah, basically, actually learn some shit. Focus on things that are actually going to generate a result. Start learning it now. Literally, it's like university degree is 3 years. You can learn Facebook ads in 2 months. Like the foundations of Facebook ads, you can probably learn in a month. Then you can start actually doing it, and it's going to build up from there. Is digital marketing and social media management also good? Yes, but not in the way that you think. So I've been running ads now. I ran my first Facebook ad in 2016, I want to say. It was my matric year. Ran my first Facebook ad in 2016. You could throw up pretty much any image. You could throw up, any image to a landing page and run it. And the CPMs were so cheap that you'd get clicks, you'd get sales. That's how Facebook ads used to be. The way Facebook ads is now, especially for e-commerce, it's very fucking difficult. To get a good ROI, it's very, very difficult because the platform has matured a lot. The CPMs are higher. There's a lot more competition. You have your big companies like Mercedes-Benz, Coca-Cola, etc., all spending on these platforms. When they run ads, by the way, when Apple runs Facebook ads or YouTube ads or Google ads, they don't look at what is my cost per acquisition. What is my CAC? They don't care about the CAC. All they care about, they don't care about CAC. All they care about is we have $5 million to spend. How many times can we hit every single person in the entire country with the same ad for that $5 million just on this campaign? That destroys CPMs. So basically, when it comes to digital marketing, learn direct response. And the reason I say learn direct response is if you have actually ever run ads and you're running ads at a high level, there's nothing you can do in Ads Manager that's going to make a difference anymore. Google ads, a lot more media buying intensive. Facebook ads, there's very, 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 very little you can do in Ads Manager that actually makes a difference. So then you look at it and it's like, okay, what is advertising? Well, advertising in the digital sense, and I'm using e-commerce because I have a lot of e-commerce experience, is someone scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, they see an ad, it makes them click, they go to a landing page, they read through the landing page, they research, that drives them to buy. Okay, so when you look at that, it doesn't matter as much now because the Facebook engine is getting so fucking good. Targeting doesn't matter at all. So there's very little you can do in Ads Manager. When you look at creatives, when you look at landing pages, there's a lot you can do there to increase conversions. So yeah, digital marketing is a good skill set to have. Although I'd say you will make a lot more money if you focus on the niches in digital marketing. So learn how to run ads, but have a look at your competition. How many Facebook ad agencies are there in comparison to Facebook creative agencies, because anyone who's spending big numbers on Facebook knows that it's almost entirely the creative and the landing page. So if you are facilitating the creatives, you're a lot more valuable to a e-commerce business than you are if you are running the ads, if you're the person clicking the buttons in the ads manager and making it pop up. Same goes with landing pages. If you can increase conversion rates on landing pages, you are so fucking valuable, because that is the fastest way to increase revenue. Is if you take a 2% conversion rate to a 4% conversion rate, you've just doubled that company's revenue with one change. If you increase ad spend from $100,000 to $200,000, you're probably just going to start losing them money unless they have a dialed in funnel. So digital marketing, yes, not in the way that you're thinking. Not in, hey, let me learn about Facebook ads engine and all I need to do is click some buttons. The game's changed. The game's changed so much. And this is why you see so many dropshippers struggling now. In the USA, there are a lot of guys who are making a lot of money through dropshipping in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, who are cucking off now, who are barely making any money. They can't even break even. It's only the top dogs who are making money in e-com now. In South Africa, running ads is a lot easier. And this will go into a side tangent. So I'm going to get very fucking distracted here. Business in South Africa is, and let me swap to just camera. Business in South Africa, if you want to start a business in South Africa, apart from the legal stuff and how everything's different, there's a very easy cheat code on how you can improve in business. Now, I know this from the e-commerce world. I don't know this from any other business in South Africa. The only businesses I've ever worked with in South Africa are lead gen and e-commerce. So I know it from generating leads, and I know it from e-commerce and running ads. It'll probably be somewhat similar across the board when you look at every vertical of business, okay? The amount of competition businesses have in South Africa is very little. There are few businesses, and do you guys want the chat box or should I take it away? I'll just keep it there for now. There are very few businesses in South Africa in comparison to the USA, okay? So if you look at e-commerce businesses in the USA, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of D2C brands who are all competing for the same customers. There are so many fucking D2C skincare brands in the USA, it makes me sick. We don't need any more of those. And when your competition is high, you have to be really good just to make a profit, okay? Look at South Africa, they're much less D2C brands. D2C brands have only just started popping up in South Africa in any significant way. When I signed my first South African client for e-commerce advertising, who's one of the bigger D2C players, actually two of the, I'd say, biggest D2C players in South Africa, we came from only servicing Americans because of everything I've been saying here, because you earn a lot more fucking money servicing American clients and UK clients than you do servicing South African clients, to servicing South African clients. The implementation of getting them results, i.e. the work that we were doing, was so much easier to get insane results. So US, let's say you're doing a 2.5 to 3, when you are looking at the US, let's say you're doing a 2.5 to 3x return on ad spend, okay? You have to be really fucking good to get a 2.5 to 3x at scale in the US. Nearly every single US e-com brand at the moment is running off, we will get a customer for as close to break even as possible, and we are banking on the lifetime value of that customer. So if I'm making 80 Rand profit, or let's use dollar terms. If I'm making $50 profit on my AOV, I am happy to spend $50 to get a customer to buy from us because I know that they will come back in the future to buy more. South African businesses, ad fatigue hasn't reached a level here where that mindset has come in. So in South Africa, all people care about is returns. Now, there are very few e-com businesses here, so the easiest way to generate results in nearly any, I'm not sure this is going to work because I'm not logged into my Facebook, in nearly any vertical is you have a look at Facebook ads library, and let's say you have a skincare brand. You have a look at, and change your location to all. You have a look at, and one that's on the top of my head, Avera Aglo. Are they still in business? Yes. These guys are doing big numbers. Facebook lets you see every single ad. Okay. Go ahead and look at their ads manager. I guarantee you, look at the competition in South Africa. One, maybe two will be running marketing like this. Now, if a company in the US that's making millions of dollars in profit every single year is doing their advertising like this, you know that it fucking works. Same goes for picking products. Same goes for building a business, validating ideas. Look at what they're doing, steal like an artist, use it in South Africa. I can almost guarantee you it's going to work nearly 10 times better than it would in the USA. So when it comes to having a business in South Africa, it's actually very, very easy to dominate, especially in the ad space here. I've lost track in the chat. Can I post this live stream? Yeah, I guess so. Google how much blockchain devs are making. Blockchain devs, if you're interested in crypto, yeah, I know. I paid a couple. It's fucking ridiculous. Pivot to TikTok advertising. So, James, the problem with this type of mindset is every couple of years, every ad platform probably has a 3 to 5 year lifespan. There were 3 to 5 good years of Facebook ads where it was stupid easy to run and you'd make a ton of money. Now it's dying off because Facebook ads isn't like that anymore. If you pivot to TikTok ads, it's going to be 3 to 5 years of good attribution, good ROAS, etc., etc. And then all the big boys catch up. Then everybody realizes, oh, TikTok ads is where you're making money. Everybody starts doing it. It stops making money. So the reason that I say focus on landing pages, focus on copywriting, focus on creatives, focus on VSLs, focus on email marketing. It's a little bit busy, but you can make good money through email marketing, is because those are all fundamentals. Those are all applicable no matter what platform. If you're running Google ads, if you're running YouTube ads, TikTok ads, Facebook ads, whatever ads, it all drives to a landing page. The landing page is where the interaction happens. So why not, instead of focusing on a channel that's probably going to die in 2 to 3 years, or everybody who's been running a Facebook ads agency has now pivoted to TikTok because they already have media buying, they already understand how all of this works, and they are now running TikTok agencies when last year they were running Facebook agencies, the competition is going to stay there. And it's going to die. It's going to die. So just focus on the fundamentals of advertising. Same goes with development, for example. Development has a longer lifespan, but if you look at a software developer, different coding languages and different frameworks and things like that, they come in and out of fashion. So it's like if you learn the fundamentals of software development and you get really good at the fundamentals, I don't know enough about software development to talk about this, and you have evergreen skills in that space, you're going to be a lot more valuable than the dude who can only code Python, because it's very fucking important in 2005 and he never learns anything else. And now he is making a quarter of what he used to make in 2005 because nobody is hiring Python developers anymore. So yeah, basically just focus on the evergreen skills. Yeah. Now, getting paid. So I'm going to talk about this from an employment perspective, but this applies to freelancers, this applies to business owners. And again, I'm getting to that part in a bit. Actually, I need a water break. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, just drop them now. And that's why there were 3 billion iPhone 13 sold. I think it was a lot more than their Facebook ad campaigns. Knowledge is now democratized. Change your view of YouTube and Google. Don't just use it for juicy memes. Facts. Absolutely crushing. Thanks, I think, Luck or Luke. I can't tell. Courtney Smith. I answered that question. I went on a rant on that. Currently focused on real estate agents in South Africa. Would you suggest that I instead focus on Canadian clients as I can't really scale with South African agents? And Am I going to talk about a South African payment processor? Yes. So would I recommend going to Canada? Yes, because you need to realize when you are doing service delivery, guys, working for South African businesses makes you fucking lazy. Okay. It goes back to what I was saying about learning how American businesses are running it. If you work for a South African business, you will be shit at what you do, simply just because of the competition level. If you're working for a Canadian company or a UK company or a USA company, everybody is trying to steal your spot. Everybody is trying to get your job. When you're working for a South African company, maybe 10 businesses are trying to steal your job. Also, the implementation is so much easier. It goes back to what I'm saying. If you work with overseas companies, you get paid to learn. Let me repeat that. Paid to learn. That should be what you are trying to do. You should be trying to get paid to learn how this shit works. Now, if you do it for a South African company, you can get them results. But let's say your cost per lead is 150 Rand, okay? And or let's run with 300 Rand, just for example's sake. Your target is leads for 300 Rand, okay? If that is your target and you hit your target and you only have South African clients, you're going to think, oh, well, yay, cool, I've done a good job. In reality, you've done a pretty shit job, because the second somebody from the USA reaches out to your client and they have a ridiculously high cost per lead, they're going to kill you. Because they have to work with higher cost per leads, okay? $50 leads, $60 leads. When you're working with higher cost leads, you are much better at A, getting the leads because it's more competitive, and B, making sure they close, and C, every single part about your business because you have to be more competitive. So basically what I'm saying is, yes, if you're doing real estate marketing, I would go overseas. The only time I would say it makes sense to work with South Africans is once you've already put in the reps overseas and you know how the boys overseas are doing it. Sign 2 or 3 clients overseas. Work with them, figure out how the competition is doing it, mimic that, get good results overseas, and then come work in South Africa. Instead of getting 300 Rand cost per leads, you're going to be getting 150 because your funnel's so much better and you're so much better at what you're doing. So yeah. Don't get lazy. If you work with South African clients and you have overseas experience, you can demand higher pay. Because if they don't pay, cool, I'm just going to go to America and get paid what I'm worth. If you only work with South African companies, it's a lot harder to get jobs overseas. It's a lot harder to get clients overseas. And you just aren't as good at what you do, and you can't demand high pay for it. So yeah. That's my thing about that. Are you going to talk about South African payment process? Yes, I've already said that. How do you deal with tax from SA? Talk about that. Biggest advantage SA boys, foreign currency and spending in rands. If you're earning dollars or pounds, rands is like GTA money or Monopoly money. It's ridiculous. So earn in dollars and rands, that's the whole point. Earn in dollars and pounds and spend in rands. You will live a very, very, very good life in South Africa. Am I still running the agency? Yes, I am. There's a 60-day tax-free law. I pay tax in South Africa. I'm moving to Dubai next year. I know you recommended Paystack. Thoughts on Payoneer? Payoneer is pretty good. What's your take on 3D augmented reality? I'll cover that in a bit. An email marketing agency closed a few clients, US based. Any tips to catapult the scale primarily inbound? That's a good question. Ray, that's a very good question. I'll tackle that in a bit. Would you say creative agencies are scalable? Not as scalable as anything delivered online, but yes, they're still scalable. So let's go back to getting paid, and then I'll get back to the chat and a water break. I need like a water sound effect for when I'm drinking water, like that Minecraft drinking sound effect. So when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to getting a client, you need to understand that most people put in the bare fucking minimum. So the reason I was hammering home on these skills is because you can have something to show for it. You can have copy to show a client that you've run traffic to and you know what the conversion rate is. You have software that you've developed and code that you can show a client. You have websites that you can show a client. So you want to get experience wherever you can. In the beginning, for me, it was literally working for free. I wouldn't advise working for free. I did it in the beginning, especially when I was young. First logo I designed was like fucking $5 or $10. First ads I ever ran, I did for free. Second set of ads that I ever ran, well, the first set was for myself, but first client I ever had was free. Second client was like 5,000 Rand a month because I was still targeting South Africans like a dumbass. But basically what you want to have is you want to have reference experience. You need to have a portfolio, and you are not going to get paid big off the jump unless you're doing an agency model and you hire someone to do the service delivery for you. But basically you want to be able to say, hey, this is what I've done. And the reason being, this applies to a job as well, is when it comes to your cold emails, when it comes to your cold messages, when it comes to cold calls, when it comes to your resume, it is all the same. It's a medium of communication with the person that you are trying to get money from and do work for. That's all it is. And your shit is somewhere in a pile like this. It does not stand out at all. If you go and you fucking watch one tutorial on how to write a good CV and you take some random template online, guess what everyone else in the workforce is doing? It's not going to get you a job. It's not going to make you stand out. So basically what you want to do is find ways that you can stand out. Now, this takes a little bit of creativity. Anyone who knows the agency world, Loom videos, absolutely fucking amazing. The first $10,000 I made in the agency space in reoccurring, as in the first 10K of clients, was all from Loom videos. I did a month where I recorded 10 to 20 Loom videos every single day, and I sent them out every single day. I must have sent out like 500 videos, and guess what? Out of that, I booked like 5 meetings, maybe 6. 3 of them closed. But that 1 month stretch of sending the same templated email as everybody else isn't working for me. Let me put in a little bit more effort and send a video instead. Netted, I still have one of those clients to this day. Netted 10K reoccurring, that's 6 figures a year. So basically what I'm saying is find a way to stand out. Some crazy examples that I've heard from this. There's a company called Handwritten, where basically what they do is, and be smart about it, they take something that you've written, so text on your computer, and they use robots to make it look like a handwritten note, and they post it out for you. It costs a little bit of money, yeah, but if you have the money to spend, that's a very, very good way to get a foot in the door. Other things I've heard, shipping like a literal shoe to somebody's office with a note saying, hey, I just wanted to get my foot in the door. Shipping, like I've heard of people sending bricks. You can do crazy shit. Anything to get attention is going to be good in a professional form. My recommendation, because if you're time rich, cash poor, i.e. you have a lot of time to spend on getting a client because you're not doing any other work, Loom videos by far the best. Don't make it a template. You can do long form email as well. Most people's email marketing or cold emails when they send out an email is literally just a template that they found on Google that they email to 1,000 different people, and they get surprised why nobody responds, when guess what? Some of my clients are getting hit up 5 to 10 times a day with other Facebook ad agencies trying to take them. That's the reality of how it is. And you know what? Half of them send the same fucking template. The only times I've ever been close to losing a client is when someone has gone above and beyond, or I have lost clients, is when somebody's gone above and beyond in getting in touch with the person. It is so simple. It takes you such little effort, and the ROI is insane. So Loom videos, highly recommended, especially if you are a freelancer or an employee, like that's your goal. Just record a fucking video introduction. It will blow your employer away because they literally just have a stack like this of people sending the same shit. It's a cover letter that they've copy and pasted from every single other job there, and it's their CV, which they've copy and pasted to every single other job that they've applied to. Just put in a little bit of effort, you'll get rewarded from it. Again, as I said, businesses care about how much money you can make them and what you can do. They don't give a shit about your CV. The only reason the CV is important is for reference checks. So I see that Tim has worked with Fred. I can call up Fred and say, hey, I'm looking to hire Tim. Why did you let him go? What was he like to work with? Why did he move on? How good was he? Did he make an impact? I can get a reference. Same goes with agencies. Same goes with freelance. Testimonials, case studies. You need those. That will make your job of getting clients a whole lot easier. That's why starting is so much more difficult. Getting your first clients is probably the hardest part, and it's so much more difficult than getting your 10th client, because by your 10th client, you should, if you're doing a good job, have some outstanding reviews and amazing results that you can hop on a call and you can be like, hey, here's what I've done. Here's how I made them 50 grand. Here's how I made them 100 grand. Here's how I made them 250. That's what you really need. That's what your CV should be. It shouldn't be, well, I worked here for 1 year and then I moved to the next job for 1 year. And show them a portfolio. Give them references. Go through a video. Make your CV a video where you're showing the places that you worked, why you left, what you're interested in doing now, your portfolio, the work that you've done. You get the point. Basically, just put in a little bit of fucking effort. You'll get rewarded from it. When it comes to the videos, Loom, it's a staple, and I think my keyboard's batteries are dead, so fuck this thing. Let me go on my laptop. Loom is a staple. It's free for videos up to 5 minutes, I believe. I use it every day of my life in working with my teams, and also with reaching out to clients when I was doing Loom videos to reach out to clients. So yeah, if you're scared of recording a Loom video, guess what? If you want to make money, you have to get on Zoom meetings with people. You have to talk to people, so get used to it. Everything's scary in the beginning. Until you do it, and then on your 10th repetition, you're like, okay, this is pretty chill. Like, why was I worried? Third thing, a lot of people asking about business stuff. Something that I want to point out is you need to know yourself, because I think there are a lot of people who are trying to run businesses who shouldn't, and especially if your goal is to make like $1 million a year, if you want to make 2 million a year, it's very attainable by working an overseas job or by being a freelancer working with overseas companies. If your goal is you want a net worth of $1 million plus sub 30, then business is really the only way to get there unless you get super lucky off a crypto pump. But basically the reason that I'm saying this is, and I'm not even sure if these charts exist, where you have fucking three, like a box instead of a line chart. But basically there's 3 things that you can do. You can either be full-time, or you can be a freelancer, or you can be a business owner. And when you look at it, the factors that you need to take into equation are stress, your freedom and your security, and your income. Okay. Because it's very easy to say, oh, I want to make $1 million a year, blah, 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 blah. But then you don't want the stress and the late nights and the lack of freedom that it takes to get to that point. Security is a big thing. If you're the type of person who doesn't like taking risks, business probably isn't for you. If you want an easy middle ground, freelance. I'd say the easiest way for people to get started is freelancing. The reason I say that is because then you actually have to learn skills. So if you're going to freelance copyright, which anyone who asks me, it's like, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what to do. Help me. Copywriting. Especially if you like writing, you can make bank being a freelance copywriter easily 150, 200,000 Rand a month if you get good. And you don't need the stress and employment and all of the bullshit that comes with running a business, because trust me, it's not all sunshines and fucking rainbows. And you can still live a good life and you have good freedom. Full-time job, if you're very risk averse, just get an international full-time job. Yeah, especially now. Obviously, there's a lot of talk of recession, et cetera, but it's like companies treat you so good now. I know on my side, it's if I hire someone good, I want to make the workplace as comfortable and as appealing to them as possible. I've always had a policy with pretty much anyone on my team where it's like, I don't really care how many hours you work, I care what you do. So as long as you get all of your tasks done, you can be on the beach for the whole day as much as I care, because all I care about is the end result. So full-time jobs, a lot of people are against it now. I am not at all, because some of the most kick-ass people I know are making 6-7 figures a year working a job because they're really fucking good at what they do, and they have insane benefits, and they have location freedom because they can work from anywhere in the world because it's all online and it's all from their laptop, and they don't have any of the stress that comes from being a business owner. Business owner, obviously, high freedom, low security. You only have yourself as your own security. So all of this is, I'd say, possibly a progression. I've never had a full-time job. I went from freelance to business owner. You might start a business owner, you might start a freelance, you might start a full-time job. Doesn't really matter, but this is kind of the matrix on how you should be looking at your decision making. Do I really want to be a business owner? Do I really want to have the late nights, etc., etc.? Because when you look at people in South Africa, I think a lot of people got into business because they wanted to make millions. And the only way to make millions of rands is to be a business owner. When you look at the average pay for a digital marketer in the United Kingdom is R1 million a year, it's like you don't need to take all of that risk to make R1 million a year. But obviously, if you are living in South Africa and you run a business that is doing 6 to 7 figures a year and you are spending in rands, you're living a really fucking good quality of life. You have a lot of freedom, you're saving a lot, and you're investing a lot. So yeah, end of the day, the decision's up to you, but just know it's like, if you want to make $1 million a year, you do not need to be a business owner anymore. You can be a freelancer or a full-time employee, easy hitting R1 million a year. So yeah, as I said, remote work frees you from needing a business. Now, if I were to go back and I was starting a business now, the reason I'm so bullish on agencies, obviously you guys know I'm close with Iman. I personally bought Iman's course. Fucking amazing. I know him personally, so obviously I had a bit of help there, but nothing like tactical that he taught me wasn't in any of his courses. So there was never like the secret agency hack or the secret outreach hack that isn't in courses. But the reason I'm so bullish on agency and freelance is you learn so much shit doing this. So the idea should be, let me make money and live a good life. Let me save and invest. And then let me take the skills that I've learned from making that money and use that to build a business that has exit potential. Because I see a lot of people who have never had any business experience doing startups where it's not cash flow producing. It's like an app or e-commerce or things like that. And I just look at it and I'm like, you have zero experience doing any of the work that you need to do to make this a success. Let me drop this now that I'm just talking. You have zero experience doing any of the work that you need to make this a success. What makes you think it's going to be a success, especially when you're not getting paid? It's like, why would you quit your job, live off savings to build a business that needs to hit 5 million rand a year for you to be able to take a 50,000 rand a month salary? When instead, if it's a SaaS business, for example, you want to start a SaaS business. So you go and raise some money and you pay yourself 10 grand a month to live off, and you work night and day because now you have to learn everything about that business. Why not just start an agency that works with SaaS businesses doing one particular thing? Because then you learn the skill that you're going to be delivering. Say it's software development. You're a software development agency, or you're doing marketing for SaaS companies, or you're doing email marketing for SaaS companies, or retention for SaaS companies. You learn that particular thing, yes, but you develop a relationship with all of your clients who all own the type of businesses that you want to run. The best thing I ever did for my e-commerce knowledge wasn't my dropshipping days where I was running stores for myself. It was the agency, because I've seen the back ends of 30 plus different e-commerce businesses. I know what their cogs are. I know how much they're paying for shipping. I know what offers are working and what aren't. I know which products are working and what aren't. I know what changes they've made to increase their revenue. I know what creatives work for there. It's basically an university degree in building a business, because you get to see, oh, this client didn't do anywhere near as well as this client. Why is that? Well, this one has a better offer. They have a nicer landing page. It converts better. They're getting lower clicks because they have better creatives. Their shipping is better. Their customer service is better. Their cogs are cheaper. It's like you start to see all of these things by seeing the back ends of your clients' businesses, and by doing it yourself, by implementing that, you learn how to do it, and then you know, oh, well, I had 10 different clients and one of them was making 10 million a year and they were doing X when all of my other clients who are making less than $1 million a year are doing Y. You know everything about that business. So when you go in to build it, you don't need to live off of your savings, because at that point, let's say your agency is automated if you build an agency, or if you only freelance, you have saved up a bit, or you keep some clients on the side while you build your business that's going to be exit worthy. You don't need to take profit out of your exit business. You live off of your cash flow business. You still live a really fucking good life. And then you build this up and you exit from it. And that is your liquidation event. You make 10 mil on an exit, 10 million rand. You sell the business and you get a lump sum payment. That is how you create the long-term wealth, is by having a cash flow business that teaches you the shit and then using it to put into a business that you can create a liquidation event from. So yeah, that's my little rant. Now, what else did I say here? Remote work frees you. And then basically I just said I'll rant on building a business. Now, it seems like everybody in the chat wants to know more about building a business than being a freelancer, etc., etc. The reason I spoke so much about freelancing and employment and stuff like that is I feel like that is a really good step in the right direction to getting work experience and learning the skills that you need to start a business. Because so many people have done what I just explained and they've completely fucking destroyed their life because they didn't have enough savings to push them through. They didn't have any connections in the industry that they were working in. They didn't have any skills in the industry that they were working in. And they quit their job and they have this amazing idea, but they don't know how to implement anything. And they go broke and their business fails. And then they go back to the corporate world and they're constantly stuck with that what if in their brain. Whereas you start making money working online, whether it's full-time job, freelance, agency, doesn't matter. All of them will make you good money, just in different proportions and with different levels of responsibility and et cetera, et cetera. And if you then decide to start your passion project of a SaaS business for crypto companies or an e-commerce store that sells hoodies, et cetera, et cetera. Now you have skills because you've been delivering a service to that market, okay? You don't need the money that that business is generating. You live off your cash flow. And guess what? If this fucks out, who cares? You still have the cash flow business. Your life doesn't change. Yes, you lost a bit of money. Yes, you lost a bit of time. Guess what? It happens to everybody. Everybody fucks up in business. And then you keep doing what you're doing. You pay a little bit more attention to the cash flow business, start upping that revenue again, realize where you went wrong in the equity business, and then just restart with a different idea. So yeah, let me pull up the chat. I know that was a bit of a rant. I am going to take a 5-minute break to top up my water bottle, go to the bathroom, go ahead and drop any questions in the chat. I'm happy to go another half an hour, 40 minutes, just ranting on any Q&As. And I will also show you some tools as soon as I'm back on where you can apply to online jobs, where you can get freelance clients, and how to get paid as a South African. Also, I saw a couple questions about like tax and stuff like that, so I'll go over that because the biggest thing is there's also different tax advantages to being a freelancer versus a business owner versus a full-time employee. So yeah, lots to cover. Going to take a quick break. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Oh, and boys, I couldn't figure out how to make it play music, so you're just going to have to play your own music while I wait. Okay. So, we've covered a bit when it comes to... Oh, I've got my stream playing in my pocket. Sorry if there was an echo. Covered a bit when it comes to tools. So, realistically, if you want to get paid well, you want to try and get Stripe. Getting it in South Africa is near impossible. It's a little bit tricky. You need to have an overseas entity. If you're just starting out, wouldn't recommend it. You can look at getting a pass-through company either in the UK or in the USA. Talk to an accountant, talk to a lawyer. But yeah, the best alternative next, Paystack. Paystack is owned by Stripe. So they are basically the Stripe of Africa. Really good. You can charge credit cards. You can do subscriptions. You can do your invoicing on here. It's basically got everything you need. It's just not as good as Stripe, I guess. But then again, you'll be saving a ton of fees that you would get if you were doing it the other way. International bank accounts, TransferWise, Wise. I've been using it for 2 years now. Zero complaints. It's amazing. You can get an account in USA, pounds, Australia, whatever you need. It basically sets you up with a bank account where you can accept wire transfers and wire payments, and then you can send it into South Africa. Obviously, foreign currency control, you do have to do paperwork in South Africa to get this approved. So when you send your first transaction, they'll email you with like a questionnaire or like a survey that you need to fill out. And you need to give your business registration if you're doing it through a business and all your business details, or you need to give all your personal details, but they are really good. So every year you just need to renew your paperwork with them. But apart from that, zero hitches. And if you are looking to form an overseas company, First Formations is amazing. You can set up a company in the UK relatively quickly, relatively cheap. But realistically, start in your personal name. If you're just starting, have a South African company. I've got a South African company. I've never had any problems with it. And yeah, that's basically that. So the floor is open. I'm happy to riff on for like another half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I'll go through everything. There were a couple questions at the top that I wanted to tackle. That I did not. So, by the way, let me know if there's anything else you want me to go more in detail with. I kind of just wanted this to be general. I know there are a lot of guys on different varying levels of where they're at, and girls, obviously. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to keep it general, keep it pretty basic, but I'm happy to go deep into whatever you guys want. So let me swap to just camera. Let me drop this down like that. And let me have a look at the chat here. South African businesses don't like paying. If you work with good businesses, they do. But it's like the difference is a mom and pop shop in the UK or in the US will pay you $2,000 a month. A mom and pop shop in South Africa is never going to fucking pay you, what's that, 30,000 Rand a month. Not going to happen. So they do pay, but everything's relative because the cost of living is so much cheaper here, but also everything else is so much cheaper here. So it's like the businesses are making less money. In the US, UK, it's like $2,000 isn't that much money. So yeah, they'll happily pay it. But yeah, in South Africa, if you're targeting like small businesses, like 10, 15,000 Rand a month, probably. Would it be better to take smaller service fee and percentage of ROAS if you're good at what you do? But again, yeah, it can scare clients away. I have an email marketing agency, closed a few clients. Any tips to catapult scale primarily inbound? Yes. Do a really fucking good job for your current clients. Make sure that they're happy. Focus on service delivery. When you have, say, because it's email marketing, I'm guessing you're working with e-commerce businesses. E-commerce brand owners know other e-commerce brand owners. Same goes in any industry. If you're doing a good job, write them a message, or even better, if you can get a card delivered, and say, hey, blah, 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 blah. It's been amazing working with you. I've gotten to the point now where I only take on clients from referrals because I want to make sure that the clients that I'm working with are top notch. If you liked what work I've done for you, then I'd appreciate if you could introduce me to any other e-commerce business owners that you know of that are looking for email marketing. And just say that you'll give them 50% of the first month or 100% of the first month if it's a retainer. Or if it's one-off jobs, do like 10% commission or 25% commission. Referral fee, basically. That's the easiest way to get clients if you're doing a good job. Get more creative than that, though. I'm just fucking exhausted, so I can't come up with a good idea now. But there's a guy on Twitter, Tej Dozer. Probably the best copywriting course I've ever been through. Tej is a fucking G. He had one where it was, he wrote this really good letter where it was like, I'm your secret marketing weapon, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to tell anybody else, all of this shit. So yeah, get creative with it. Get good at copywriting. It'll help you in every aspect of life. But basically, referrals are the best clients. I've found through personal experience. Also, they're the easiest to get. How do you deal with tax from SA? So taxes. If you're an employee, your tax gets taken off before you get any money. If you are a freelancer or a business owner, you get your money, you get to spend money, and then you get taxed. This only works if your income isn't coming more than 80% from one person. So let's say you're a freelancer and you have a couple small clients and you're making 100,000 Rand a month, and you have one really fucking big client that you're dedicating most of your time to, and they're paying you 85,000 Rand a month. In South African law, you are classified as an employee of them, okay? So you can't get the tax benefits. But if you're a business owner or a freelancer, basically what that means is you only get taxed on profits. So as a freelancer, if you get 20,000 Rand a month, and as an employee, if you get 20,000 Rand a month, you're going to get taxed before you see that money as an employee. As a freelancer, if you run costs through your businesses, i.e. Wi-Fi, laptop, obviously buying assets, like anything that you need for work, you can run through your business and it lowers your tax obligation. Get an accountant. You need a good accountant. Two things you need in life are a good accountant and a good lawyer. Reason being, good lawyer is going to keep you out of jail. Good accountant's going to make sure that you can afford the good lawyer. So yeah, get a good accountant. I will actually just shout out my accountants real quick because they've been fucking incredible. I've been with them for 2 years. Dogetters.co.za. I know, yeah. So Dogetters, I've been with them for 2 years. They're fucking incredible. They're very down to earth and they're very like in touch with what's happening. So they are very supportive of online business. They know a lot of the different tax rules around online business, around different payment processes and things like that. So yeah, I can't recommend them enough. Just say Pete sent you, and they'll give you some extra nice treatment and maybe an extra nice rate. But yeah, they're incredible. So get a good accountant. Next up was Pioneer, have a bit of experience, 3D and augmented reality. Look, it's going to be a thing. I'm not the type of person who's really into that. It's kind of like the metaverse. I don't really give a fuck about the metaverse. My perspective on the metaverse is that the rich people are going to have the real world and everybody who's lower middle class is going to get shoved inside a headset because they hate their life in the real world and they can get quick results in the metaverse. So it's like, I don't know, I think there probably is something to be said about 3D and augmented reality. But for me, it's kind of like you need to hit a home run in those industries. I like my industries because you can hit a lot of singles. If you hit a lot of singles, you end up winning the game. If you swing for home runs every single fucking time, yes, you might hit one, but you might go the whole game never hitting one. So yeah, I just don't really like home run businesses. Gotta go, Aiden. No stress. Enjoy the 4:25 gym session. Aiden's been gymming every single fucking day of this year. He keeps track every day on his Instagram story. How to become a freelancer. Let me lift this up again. My setup is really ass for streaming. So yeah, sorry if I'm moving around. How to become a freelancer. From Luck. Thank you, Luck. Step 1. Get good at something. Step 2. Get experience being good at something. Step 3. Get businesses to pay you. Preferably UK or US or anywhere but South Africa. That is how you do it. It's almost like I had an entire fucking slideshow on it. No, I'm joking. But it really is that fucking simple. Get good at something. You need to have a skill. You need to be able to do something and then start applying to jobs. You can find freelance job boards. Use what I was fucking ranting about here and have a good cover letter. Have a good portfolio. Record them a Loom video. Show them work that you've done that's similar. Reach out to businesses that need your services. I.e., if you are a copywriter, you need to go to Google and figure out which companies need copywriting. Okay, what companies need copywriting? Find a list of those companies. Email them. Offer to work for free to get experience if you don't have any experience. Build a portfolio. Start pitching them for money. Repeat that every single fucking day, and guess what? A year down the line, you're a freelancer who's making 100K a month. I'm going to be heading to the UK now to do the same job I did here for Vela Solutions and get paid 5x more. Perfect example. And I know Angus personally. Fucking killer, number one. Number two, it's a little bit different because Angus is doing in-person work. So it's like your cost of living is going to increase with your paycheck. Just remember that. But realistically, you'll probably end up saving a lot more overseas than you will in South Africa. But that's exactly the point. Same company, same fucking job, different geography, and he's getting paid 5 times more. That means if you're earning 20,000 Rand a month in South Africa and you just work for the same company in a different location, guess what? You're earning 50,000 Rand a month. Do you need a successful Instagram, Facebook page, website, freelance agency? No, you literally don't need it at all. You need a portfolio. That's it. If you want to build a website, build something on Wix. It doesn't fucking matter. My website still looks like ass. Get on Go High Level, easily set up a SaaS on top of your agency. You can. I was looking at Go High Level the other day. It seems a little bit clunky. But yeah, I know a lot of people are making good money off of Go High Level. Why the move to Dubai, bro? I'm over South Africa. I don't want to set roots long term in South Africa. I just don't trust it. If shit hits the fan here, it's like, cool. That's everything I've worked for in the last 5 years done. Once you are in Cape Town, or I'm assuming it's the same in Joburg, I know it was the same in Durban, Pietermaritzburg. It's like once you've been out and socializing and stuff for like a year or two, you pretty much know like 90% of the people. You're never really meeting any new people. Plus, I like to travel, and Dubai is central location to everywhere traveling. And plus, it's 0% tax, and there are a ton of high-level dudes out in Dubai. So there are very few guys, unless it is November, December, January, Feb. There are very, very, very few guys I know in Cape Town who are earning a lot of money and living a similar life to me. And those are the type of guys that I want to hang out with. Where do they all live? They all live in Dubai. So I'll still be in South Africa. I'll still be in South Africa less than 3 months a year, obviously for financial immigration. But yeah, Dubai is just more appealing because I can pay 0% tax. I can spend 3 to 4 months a year there. I can travel for the rest of the time, and then I can come visit Cape Town and just spend what I'm paying in tax here on traveling. Yeah. Any cryptos? Have you seen the market, bro? Why do you think I'm doing live streams? I'm trying to get donations, bro. I'm broke. No, I'm joking. Only thing, Bitcoin. Can the stream stay on YouTube unlisted? Came in halfway. Would like to finish it before you end the stream. Yeah, I'll keep it up unlisted, maybe for like 24 hours or something. I'll keep it up publicly for like 24 hours. Oh, good question. Would you charge all international clients in one currency? Or would you charge clients in their local currency? Depends on your payment processor. If they allow it, you can, but you get nailed with foreign fees. So usually what I'll say is I'll just turn around and say, hey, let's, for example's sake, use dollars and pounds. Just say, hey, yeah, I've got a pound account. That's where all of the money comes into. I get charged a massive fee if I charge in dollars. So would you be comfortable with just doing the pound equivalent? Oftentimes they'll just say yes because it's a credit card transaction, so it doesn't really matter. You paying the fee, not them. How do you decide how much work versus how much you party and socialize? For me, it takes a lot of effort to go out and party and socialize. It's like for me, the version of balance in life is a seesaw. Okay. So I don't believe there's this healthy balance where you go out and socialize 3 days a week and you work 5 days a week and you progress very heavily in life. The fastest progression you'll get is by dedicating a short period of time and working intensely on it. So my entire life is longish periods of intense work, followed by a short period of like light work with a little bit of socializing, followed by like a month in Greece getting drunk every day. So for me, it's like I'd much rather have short stints where it's like I'm going on a bender and I don't give a fuck about work and I'm partying and I'm having fun, and then getting back into 3 months of just like focus, like head down, let's work, let's get in good shape, let's eat healthy, etc., etc. To me, that's a lot more attractive than having a consistent balance of both. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. I'm socializing a bit more now that I'm leading a team, more so than doing like web development or ads or stuff like that myself. But yeah, I'm pretty introverted naturally. So I kind of just spend a lot of time at home working, and I will go out occasionally. But yeah, when I'm overseas, I have a lot more fun than in Cape Town. Super helpful. What's your method for working in multiple roles and managing your time? So fun fact, Brad. Today I actually got diagnosed with severe ADHD that's gone undiagnosed my entire life. So when it comes to time management, I'm probably the worst fucking person to ask, because my entire life has been hyper focus or like procrastination. So yeah, no clue. What are my thoughts on Forex? Ooh, baby. Oh, God. Forex, 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 Forex. Forex was like the first like introduction to like make money online YouTubers I ever got. Was like a fucking YouTube ad for somebody's Forex course. So I started learning technical analysis and stuff like that when I was like 15, 16. As I said, ADHD. I bounced around from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and like, yeah, just obsessed over it. So my opinion on Forex is this. 90% of the people in the space are trying to sell you a course that they don't actually fucking like know what they're doing. They aren't profitable traders. There are 10% of traders who are profitable and they take all of the fucking money. At the end of the day, it's a percentage game. I know some really good traders, and it's all about portfolio percentage and psychology. The reason I'm saying that is Forex gurus would love to sell you a dream that if you have 10,000 Rand, you can start trading Forex and you'll be a millionaire by the end of the year. If you just do the simple maths on the percentage of that, it's very highly unfucking likely. You'd be the best trader in the world if you managed to do that. Crypto is a little bit of a different story because people catch pumps and it's up only, and then they take some profits and they turn like 10 grand into like 100 grand or whatever. But being a trader requires you to have capital if you want to make money. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's a percentage game. So let's say you want to make R1 million a year. Okay, if you want to make R1 million a year, and trading's income, it's not investments. Don't mix investing and trading together, because trading is income. It's the same as working a job, essentially, except your job, it's like working sales. You have control over how much you make. If you fuck up, your paycheck gets dented by it, and it's earned income. It is not passive at all. If you want to make R1 million a year and you have 100,000 Rand to start with, you need to hit, what's that, 100%, no, fuck, 1,000% ROI on your trades to make R1 million a year. Okay. If you have 10 million Rand and you want to make R1 million a year, you need to make 10% a year. So it's like the thing with Forex is the end result of anybody trading is they want to make money. They want to make a lot of money. They want to pull money out of a market. There's 0 point in starting to learn trading when you have low capital, because even if you're the best trader on earth, you're not going to be able to turn 1,000 Rand into R1 million in a year. If you have capital, let's say you have $100,000, it's relatively easy to make $2,000 to $3,000 a month off $100,000 in trading if you actually dedicated yourself to it. So it's like all it is a percentage game. So if you are looking at Forex and you're like, oh, this guy with a course or a signals group told me that I can pay him 500 Rand and I will make 10 million Rand. It's like, that's fucking retarded. You're being sold snake oil. It's not going to happen. Just learn about risk management, etc., etc. Because yeah, look at a lot of guys in the Forex space. I know they are legit guys, but it's like the thing with the Forex industry is it's so tainted by the amount of guys who are bullshitting that even the legit guys get doubted. So yeah, that's my opinion on Forex. If I'm completely new to the space, would you recommend going through Iman's course to learn and go from there? If you have the capital for it, yes. If not, his YouTube videos have a lot of information as well. I started making money before I bought any courses.
So I was freelance photo and video, and then I took the profits from that and just invested that into courses. So yeah, if you have the capital and you're already earning money, 100%. If you don't have money, then it's like, guys, just fucking spend a little bit more time, because then you're time rich, you're cash poor. Just spend more time learning from free content that you can find online, and then invest in a course once you've already made some money to level up more.
Thanks, Pete. Pete, you're a legend for doing this. Thank you. It's actually been kind of fun. I kind of like raging at you guys and making fun of you. Although there aren't as many stupid questions as I thought there were going to be. What happened to Neverland? Got off Discord a bit and it was gone. I deleted it because, yeah, just too much admin. Kind of died out, a bit of momentum, and I wasn't getting paid for it, and it was taking up too much time. So, yeah, I'd rather honestly just dedicate like a fucking hour or two of my life to streaming. So an hour or two a week, then like fucking 10 hours a week in a Discord. And also this just helps me because it grows my brand. And in return, you guys get value, whereas a Discord doesn't really help me at all. So yeah, I was kind of just doing it to, honestly, the end goal of Neverland was to meet more people in Cape Town who are interested in the shit that I'm interested in. And it worked because I made a lot of really cool friends from that server. So it served its purpose for me, and now I just don't have the time for it. Double taxation laws. David Hogan. Oh, God. Double taxation. So I'm not familiar with it from an employment perspective. You'll need to talk to an accountant. Never take accounting advice from somebody who isn't an accountant. But realistically, you want to look for work in places that have a tax treaty with South Africa. Because then basically if you get taxed in one place, it offsets the tax in the other place. So yeah, but South African tax laws are really complex and really fucking strict. One of the first
books that I ever read, which was really good, is this book. How to Get a SARS Refund by Daniel Baines. So this book, I promise you, just fucking read it. Buy it and read it. It's probably like $100 or $200. It'll teach you so much about tax and how the tax laws are in South Africa and stuff like that. When it comes to double taxation, I'm not really familiar. But yeah, that'd be my advice. Padram, my G, much love, bro. Long time no see. I am possibly going to Bali in October. So travel wise, I'll probably do Bali in October and then go to Dubai to handle some admin after that. But actually leaving South Africa, I'm leaving in February, just because either way, if I leave South Africa now, I'm still getting taxed for this year. So there's zero advantage. So yeah, I'm going to be leaving on a clean financial year in February. All right, gents. Pretty sure that covers everything that I wanted to cover. We're coming on 2 hours, 1 hour, 46 minutes. I've had a lot of fun. I'm very surprised at the amount of people that stayed all the way through. I was kind of expecting like 5 or 10 people to hop on and I could just give like one-on-one advice. But yeah, any tips on conveying the value of paid ads to South African local business owners who don't understand it? Depends what your ads are doing. Is there value in your ads? Yes or no? And it's like, if you're just running boosted Instagram posts, then it's like you're going to have fucking tough time convincing that. But it's like, if you're doing lead generation, then it's like, cool. How much is your... a really, really, really fucking good perspective to have in the agency space is look at it from the perspective of the business owner. And if you could get that client, especially for local lead gen, if that client hires you and they get one client off of your retainer, it'll be a net positive for them. So basically, that will dictate how much you can, charge them as a retainer. So if you're looking at a coffee shop, what's the profit on a cup of coffee? Probably like R1 or R2, maybe R5.
10 Rand if it's an overpriced place. So it's like if they get one customer from your work, it's like, fuck, you can't charge them anything. What is the amount of profit that a construction company will make from closing one deal? It's probably like 2 to 3 bar. So it's like, if you charge a construction company 20,000 Rand a month and you get them one client in 6 months, they've made a massive fucking ROI off of you. So it's a lot easier to convince clients that make a lot of money that advertising and lead gen works. So yeah, if your clients don't understand lead generation and they don't want more leads, they probably aren't making much money and they're probably a shitty client. So yeah, that's a good way to justify it. And then also it's like, if you're confident in what you're delivering, you can offer a guarantee. That's also a really good way. Having a good offer helps a lot. $100 million offers by Alex Hormozy. Fuck me, I'm going to start a book club for you boys. This book will blow your fucking mind about everything in business, and you have zero excuse not to buy it. If you are looking to build a business that is anything along the lines of anything that I've just fucking said, agency, freelance, lead generation, whatever, buy this book. It is stupidly good. Read it multiple times. It costs you he literally made it as cheap as humanly possible on Amazon. I think it's like $10 because that was the lowest price that you could do on Kindle. Yeah, buy this book, read it. It'll answer every single question about convincing clients to work with you, etc., etc. So yeah, there's Pete's book club. Taking a few sales calls, offered free fulfillment, but haven't managed to sign clients because lack of referrals. So I'm looking on Upwork, etc., to learn from them, as well as have some experience in the workforce. I wanted to know what process you went through to find your employees, and if you would suggest this. Hiring. This is another very good point. One of the reasons I wanted to do the stream and I wanted to create this content is because I want people in South Africa to make more fucking money and bring that money in from overseas. Reason being, we all know South Africa's economy is not great. I'm a strong believer that online business can do a lot to help it. The reason I say that is because South Africa exports raw materials and then buys them back from other countries. We've never exported information. We've never exported labor and had the benefit of that in the country. When you look at it from an economics perspective, if we get the top 10% of talent in South Africa working online for overseas companies, it does two things really. A, those people are earning more. If you go from earning 50,000 Rand a month to 100,000 Rand a month, your expenditure within South African businesses is going to increase. It's more money in the local economy because you're spending money that you never had anymore. So that means the restaurant that you go to is earning more money. The person that you buy your clothes from is earning more money. The coffee shop down the road, your doctor, your whatever the fuck, the masseuse, wherever you spend your money, they are earning more money. A. B, it takes you out the workforce. South African companies can't hire you anymore. And let's say you were the best web designer in South Africa and no one in South Africa can hire you anymore. What that does is, if you think of it like a ladder, it creates more demand for web developers for other people. So it's like you getting an overseas job is not only the best thing that you can do for yourself, it's the best thing you can fucking do for the economy because it increases the amount of money coming into the country. Yes, it increases tax revenue for the government, blah, blah, blah. You spend more. You stimulate local business. You have that knock-on effect. You tell your friend that you are making more money because you got an overseas job. They want to get an overseas job. They do. It's a ripple effect that essentially brings more money into the economy, creates more work in the country, which we desperately fucking need. And yeah, overall, it's just a net positive for everybody, except obviously the countries that you're taking money from. But fuck them. I like South Africa. So yeah. The whole point of that, wow, my brain is fried. The whole point of that is
most of my employees that I've ever hired have been South African. Reason being is because I want to stimulate the workforce in South Africa, okay? And also I am paying in rands. If I am earning in dollars and I am paying in rands, the work is a lot cheaper than if I was going to hire someone in the USA, okay? It goes back to that pay scale that we spoke about. So it is easier to retain good talent in South Africa, and South Africa has really fucking good talent if you are getting paid better by overseas clients. So most of my team across GCC, GCC is a lot more diverse, but the agency, I've only ever hired South African people. Reason being, it makes me more profit, they get paid better, they have a better quality of life, and it stimulates the economy more. So yeah, I hire people by poaching them from other companies on LinkedIn. So I will look at digital marketing agency, South Africa, look for the best ones, message every single fucking media buyer at that agency and offer them more money and a better quality of work. And most of the time they say yes, because South African employees get treated like shit in general. Opinion on the recession and how it will affect SA. I don't know enough about SA politics to comment on that, but I think everywhere is going to be very rough before it gets any better. Enjoyed the live. Thank you guys. I'm glad you enjoyed it. When you move to Dubai, would you do monk mode like Iman? When I first moved to Dubai, I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time socializing because I need to build a friend group there. I've already got a lot of good friends in Dubai, which is amazing. But I'll probably spend a lot of time socializing and partying and going out for dinners and stuff like that. But realistically, Dubai will be the monk mode place just because I don't think it's the best place to live. I think it's really good for high-level networking. I think it's really good for making money. But if you want the better things of life, you need to go international. The Inner Circle WhatsApp group for GCC, we're having a conversation about it today about where everybody is building their long-term bases. And we have people all over the world, 6, 7, 8-figure net worths, some even 9-figure net worths, dollar terms, not rands. And everybody kind of came to the general consensus that there's no one place that has it all. It does not exist. The utopia does not exist. So when you are rolling around with the high-level guys, they're not staying in one place for very long. They have different locations for different needs. So for me, Dubai is insanely expensive. The roads are cuck, so you can't drive a nice car there. Everybody is flexing money. Bottle of wine. I went for a date on my last night in Dubai. A bottle of wine that came from Cape Town cost me 4,000 fucking rand. So yeah, everything's just inflated and expensive in Dubai. I intend on doing mostly work there and then traveling for my fun. Europe, Bali. I want to try out Australia, see what that's like. And obviously Cape Town for like 2-3 months a year. So yeah, that's the Dubai stuff. All right, any last questions? I'm happy to answer a couple last ones, and then we will take it from there. But guys, appreciate you tuning in. Let me know if you want me to do another stream like this. We'll keep it up for anybody who wants to rewatch or anybody who didn't get the chance to watch. Might take it down after a couple days. And yeah, is it compulsory to have clients pay on the call, as I've been letting mine not pay on the call and they manually transfer payments? I'm guessing you're taking payments through bank transfer. Scratch that shit. Fucking get Paystack. The bane of my life is doing bank transfers. It takes so much admin. It's such a pain in the ass. It's so stupid. I'd rather just run it through my card. You don't need to you don't have to have them pay on the call. It's a lot better if you do, but I've signed clients where for logistical reasons they didn't pay on the call, or they couldn't, or whatever. So yeah, you don't need to get them to pay on the call. You need to make it as easy as possible for them to pay. Have you ever looked at your bank statement and see a charge there for a subscription that you'd completely forgotten about? If you had to manually pay for that subscription every single month, they probably wouldn't have got as much money out of you. So yeah, you want to make it as easy as possible. That's why automated reoccurring card transactions are the best, because they kind of just forget Whereas every month, if they have to do a bank transfer, I can tell you right now, bank transfers suck. I hate them. Every single month, they'll be looking at that bank transfer when they're doing it, and they're going to be like, is it really worth the amount that we're paying them? So every single touch point, every single month is going to be them contemplating whether you're worth the money. If it's automated, that doesn't happen. It's just a good working relationship. You think the make money online game will ever suffer from oversaturation, or do you think new opportunities will continue to pop up? We live in an echo chamber. If you're part of the make money online space, it seems like everybody is in the make money online space. If you go out into the real fucking world, it's maybe like 2%, 1% of the population that knows about like money Twitter, that knows about all of the YouTubers who are giving out insane value, stuff like that. It's like, it's very easy to think everything's oversaturated because you're in an echo chamber and your algorithms are so good that every time you go on any social media, it's some successful dude with a Rolex and a Lambo. But if you are a professional athlete, let's say you're a professional runner, you go on social media, all you're seeing is professional athletes. So it just makes it look like the entire fucking world is trying to be a professional athlete. It's the same with make money online. Same with crypto, it's the same with everything. Everybody thinks things get oversaturated and they don't realize that there are 8 billion people in this world. So it's like, no, it's not oversaturated. I think there'll always be opportunities. I think, especially if you're a fast mover, if you can learn quickly, then there'll always be opportunities. There's never, unless the whole world goes to communism, there's never not going to be online business opportunities. The meta will shift 100%. But yeah. And yeah, Liam, ever since like Tate got involved and he did his affiliate structure, which made obviously all of his shit go insanely viral. Genius move, by the way. It has gotten a bit more mainstream, but you also need to realize that it's like most people fail at this shit. So yeah, just keep going. There's an abundance of money in this world for everybody. So yeah. All right. On that note, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. To the 45 people who stayed all the way through, you guys are fucking legends. If you need anything or have any comments or anything like that, DM me on Instagram because you watched all the way through. I'll spend the next hour or so just going through DMs. And yeah, this has been fun. First ever stream in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, maybe I'll do